First dibs on the fastest chip ever stuffed into a phone sounds like marketing fluff. Until you realize that Xiaomi might actually pull it off months before Samsung, Google, or Apple even announce their next moves. That's the jaw-dropper hiding inside today's leak. The Xiaomi 16 family is on track to debut Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. Yes, the sequel to the already blistering 8 Elite, as early as this September, potentially crowning Xiaomi, not the usual Silicon Valley giants, as the speed king of 2025. But here's where it gets controversial. Some insiders argue that being first is a meaningless trophy if the software can't tame all that raw horsepower. After all, what good is a 4.6 GHz Orion CPU and a 1.2 GHz Adreno 840 GPU if the phone throttles after 3 minutes of gaming? Xiaomi fans are already duking it out in forums, half celebrating the bragging rights, half warning that thermals and battery life could tank. Which side are you on? Let's unpack what we know so far, piece by piece. 1. The Snapdragon 8 Elite 2, model number SM8850, is built on TSMC's refined N3P 3nm node. Translation: more transistors, less heat, and better efficiency than last year's already impressive 4nm chips. Qualcomm claims the jump from N4 to N3 key alone delivers roughly 10% higher performance at the same power draw, or, flip the coin, 20% lower power at the same performance. 2. Clock speeds are eye-watering, 4.6 GHz on the Prime Orion core. For context, that's faster than many laptop CPUs from just 2 generations ago. The Adreno 840 GPU, humming along at 1.2 GHz, promises console-grade frame rates. But, and this is the part most people miss, mobile games still need to be coded to take advantage of it. Otherwise, you're just scrolling Instagram at 240 frames per second. 3. Xiaomi's lineup is shaping up like this. The base Xiaomi 16, the Xiaomi 16 Pro, and the range-topping Xiaomi 16 Ultra. Leaked promo timelines show all three entering the pre-launch hype cycle right now, with mass production rumored to kick off in August for a September reveal. If true, Xiaomi would beat Honor's Magic 8 series, Realme's GT8 Pro, and iQOO's 15 to market by weeks, maybe even a full month. 4. Speaking of those rivals, Digital Chat Station's insider notes paint a fascinating pecking order. Xiaomi 16 first, then Magic 8, GT8 Pro, and finally iQOO 15. Each brand is reportedly locked into the same SM8850 silicon, yet each will tune it differently, some chasing benchmark records, others chasing battery endurance. Expect heated comment section wars over whose implementation is best. 5. Qualcomm's official unveiling is penciled in for late September. Until then, treat every spec sheet as a moving target. Frequencies can be dialed down at the last minute if yields aren't perfect, and GPU clocks might get a stealth bump if competition heats up. So, what does this mean for everyday users? Picture this. You're editing a 4K video on your phone while streaming Spotify in the background, and the device barely warms up. Or you're playing Genshin Impact at max settings for an hour straight without the fan-style throttling that plagued last year's flagships. That's the promise, but promises and real-world results don't always shake hands. Controversial take. Some analysts whisper that Qualcomm rushed the 8 Elite 2 to counter Apple's M4 momentum in tablets, potentially pushing Xiaomi to launch earlier than ideal. If the software stack lags behind the hardware, early adopters could become unpaid beta testers. Is Xiaomi's MIUI ready to handle this beast, or will we see a flood of day-one patches and Reddit rants? Your move, readers. Does being first to Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 make Xiaomi the automatic 2025 champion? Or is the first badge just a shiny distraction from unfinished polish? Drop your hot takes below. Are you pre-ordering the moment the pre-order page goes live? Or are you waiting for real-world battery and thermal tests? Let the debate begin.